Hi there everybody, my name is Kate and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. So I want to talk to you today about fear. This is a download that I've been getting for a while, and fear is really, it's a booger. It's a big old booger, and sometimes we don't even understand that we're afraid. Fear is something that gives us an opportunity to step away, to be distracted, and to be believing something that is not true. The truth is we have absolutely nothing to fear when we're connected to everything that we are from in here. When we're connected to source, whatever we call that, however we experience it, when we are fully connected to that and engaged with that, we are not in a fear state. So if we're experiencing fear, we're experiencing anxiety, we're experiencing worry about the future, or, oh my God, what about that? When we're experiencing that, it's completely normal. It's absolutely normal to the human experience for us to have the full range of emotions. It's just that fear is really exhibiting a separation from our most peaceful state of balance and harmony with ourselves and our creator, whatever we call that. And when we step away from that, then we're experiencing all of the different iterations of that, which is the whole emotional spectrum that doesn't feel very good to most human beings. So fear is asking us to take a look at what's separating me from source, what's separating me from God, what's separating me from love, what's separating me from the ability to stand in my place and encourage and knowing that I'm good, I'm totally good with whatever's happening here. I'm not talking about standing around waiting for somebody to run us over in the middle of the street and go, I am totally protected. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that state of anxiety that many of us ride around in pretty much all the time, waiting for the other shoe to fall, waiting for the next bad thing to happen, or trying to recover from the bad thing that's happened, or, excuse me, creating that kind of nonsense for somebody else because we're in that, excitable rabbit stage where we're running around, hopping around and looking for some drama because that's what we're used to. We live in the fear when there's not drama. We live in the fear when there is drama. It's a whole anxiety state that humans have developed into that being kind of a baseline for most of us, that we understand we're kind of in that excited flight or fight mode all the time, and we're ready to fight a lot, and so what is that fear asking us to take a look at when we feel it? If we don't even recognize that we're there, maybe we stop and we are still for a few minutes and we start feeling that, oh my God. Most people can get there one way or another. They either feel it outright abject, or they stop for 2 or 3 minutes and then start looking around for, okay, what about this or what about that, and they start feeling that anxious state. So what is that fear asking us to do? It's asking us to look internally at what is it that we're expecting in this moment. What is it that's keeping us from reaching that state of balance or being in that natural normal, not normal for human beings across the board. However, it's normal and natural for us as human beings to be in that state of connectedness to our creator source, whatever we call that. And that disconnection is all the mess and the horror that you've seen in the age of Pisces for hundreds of years now, hundreds and hundreds of years of violation of that relationship between us and our creator source energy, whatever that is. And now that we're stepping into the age of Aquarius, we're coming back to knowing that, home is really here. It's not people out here. It's not their faces. It's not the places. It's not the stuff. It's not the promises. It's not the expectations. It's none of that. It's let me get here with it, that I know exactly what my home frequency feels like to me. I know what it is to feel wrapped in the arms of the divine, and I am absolutely fine. However I get there, whatever I do, that comes from no other source but me. Not you, not you, not you, not a thing. If I need that, then I still have some work to do to be able to return back to home through here. If I have to use your telephone to call home, then if I only ever can use your telephone to call home, that means you and I have to be on a speaking relationship. We have to be good, or I have to be willing to sell a body part in order to borrow your phone or something like that. That's where we get into all of these weird relationships that we've been in for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, is that somebody else was the gatekeeper for us phoning home. And we have our own ability to do that. Whether we have a finger or not is irrelevant. We have our own ability to do that. And that's what the age of Aquarius is asking us to do, is take a look inside of you, boo, to figure out, how do you phone home? How do you connect with your source energy? How do you connect with your home frequency? How do you connect with your soul tribe? Without leaving your house, without leaving your body, without leaving anything except your own experience here of how do I connect from here? How do I create that connection of phoning home without needing another person or another thing. There is no interruption between me and divinity. How do I get that? How do I experience that? And how does excuse me, separation from that look out here? Does it mean that I cling to a certain idea? Does it mean that I cling to people? Does it mean that I cling to a certain job that I have to have, a certain title, or a certain thing I have to do? I understand it, man. I used to be riddled with OCD like a crazy person. I mean, absolutely could not do things. You know, going into bathrooms was just a real challenge, because if they didn't have paper towels, that was going to be a problem, because I needed exactly 3, not 4, not 2.5, and not 2 3/4. Give me 3 paper towels, and it has to be a certain thing. I have to do it a certain way, etc., etc., etc. And it would rock my whole entire world. And I would stuff that down and go, just stop being ridiculous. And the whole beating up, berating, and terrible, process that I went through is one that is common for many, 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 many millions of people on this planet. And that was, for me, a complete and total separation. I had no idea of my spiritual sovereignty. I believed in God. I believed in all kinds of stuff and esoteric. However, there was no connection. I was considering that I've got to do something out here. I've got to demonstrate and prove out here that connection, and I need this to happen and this to happen and this to happen in order for that connection to come through. And it finally clicked for me, and still continues to click for me whenever I experience those moments of when I go, oh wait a minute, hold on a second, that why would my family, why would my home frequency, why would that homeness of me as a mother, why would I ever deny my child the opportunity to call me? Why would I leave them without a quarter in their pocket, for those of us that are old enough to know what that was for? Why would I ever leave my child without the ability to go, beep, excuse me, beam me up now, If you know Star Trek at all, why would Captain Picard leave anyone on his crew down on the ground with no ability to reach out and say, hey dude, it's bad down here, can we get some help? And so if we think about our star family, our star nation, our home frequency, God, heaven, Jesus, whatever we resonate with, whatever it is that gets us to that place of knowing, I'm totally home and I'm totally safe no matter where we are, why would that ever put a disconnect anywhere on us? Why would that ever put a gate on us, a gatekeeper, or something that would keep us from reaching out and touching that? It is us, it is each other. We do this to each other, we do it to ourselves. And that is the age of Pisces, which is leaving. It's the transitional period that we're into with, wait a minute, we're not quite there and we're not quite there. We're in that liminal space as a community, as a collective people. We have people that are, way, way over here, way, way over here. However, as a collective, we're in that liminal space of, we've had corporate takeover and we're not quite in that old corporation anymore, but we're not quite stood up over here. We've got the skeleton in, we got a lot of stuff transitioning, and a whole lot of the, higher ups are making decisions that are for the betterment of this entire corporation, even for those that are over here, picketing and striking and hating life and, doing all kinds of terrible things because they don't like the transition, even though we do know, those of us that know, we know that the new corporation, the new institution of, hey, we've got this skeleton going in, this grid work, the ley lines. We've got all of this coming from the higher ups that is for the betterment of the entire community, because we understand that some of the community doesn't really appreciate that we're no longer doing that age of Pisces stuff. We're no longer doing that. No, we're not doing that. However, when you figure out that battle is over, and when you're done battling, you'll see that the whole battle mentality is really irrelevant over here, because we just don't, we just don't do that. We do not do that, pardon me. We don't do that. It's irrelevant. It's not necessary. You're doing, engaging in activity that isn't relevant over here. You're doing work over here that we aren't about that in this paradigm. We're not about that. It's redundant to keep doing this over and over again, and it's irrelevant because it's extinct, So let's move on from this behavior over here and, really engage in the behavior over here. Well, in that liminal space, we have lots of people who don't understand that. They don't know that. They haven't gotten the memo yet. They haven't, shown up to find out that, what's going on here? They're busy being distracted by their fear of, oh my goodness, this is happening and this is happening, and what about this and what about that? And there is much if you look around the world, there's much that can definitely distract us, can definitely take us away from our home frequency. There's a lot that can do that. However, I'm going to encourage you that when we observe those things, when we see those things, that's the time to double down, absolutely double down on it internally and say, I have nothing to fear. And I have everything right here that's being given to me. Because if my kid was on the phone calling me and going, yo, Mom, there's something weird going on down here. Or if, as on the ground, Captain Picard, yo, there's some weird stuff here. Don't worry about it, bro. We'll keep in your ear. We'll tell you there, Kate. Don't worry about it. Don't be late. 10:10 just passed. In understanding that we're right here. We see everything. We know everything. And as long as you stay connected here, we can help you navigate all of that fear. We can help you navigate whatever's happening in front of you to empower you, not to bully other people or tell them what to do. It isn't about that. It's about having the sovereignty of, I know what I see. I know what I feel. And as long as I'm connected to my Captain Picard family, and my understanding of my home frequency, as long as I've got that in my ear, then I can deal with whatever is right here. It doesn't mean that it's pleasant. It doesn't mean that it's pretty or that it's necessarily nice or that I'm going to be, all calm and peaceful looking throughout. I may need to take some very severe action. I may need to do some things to move it on. However, I still can stay in that state of balance and knowing and understanding that I'm acting with righteousness and I'm acting on the authority of, I know what my home frequency is telling me. I know how to act with dignity and respect and grace, even though I got to clear this place, perhaps. It doesn't matter what it is. And I always reach that state of balance by denouncing the fear. I have nothing to fear. If I haven't got that connection from here, if I don't know that I have that connection, it's going to be really, really, really difficult for me to pretend like I have it at this point. We used to be able to get away with that nonsense years ago. We used to be able, to get away with looking and pontificating and being false light. We used to be able to get away with that stuff, and it just doesn't happen 11:44 that way anymore. So anyway, I hope that's been helpful for you today in some way, and I hope that you enjoy your day. Get within your skin because you're divine. Oh my goodness. It is absolutely fine, and you can get there. You just have to ask. You have to ask and be willing to denounce the fear that you're bad, that you're crazy, that you're wrong, that you're whatever. Let go of all of that. Simple, right? Yeah. Gets simpler every time that you do it, and move over those blocks by denouncing the blocks. Whatever's in my way, whatever is the resistance, 1212, I release and let it go, and I plug in, how do I know who is my home frequency, where is my home frequency, and how do I reach that no matter where I am stepping in my skin and in my avatar. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, as I said, and get within your skin because you're divine. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, and takes care of you every single time. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye, friends.